Recently, we have seen how England is playing Test cricket. We have seen their aggressive approach that Brendan McCullum has brought in very recently, which they have termed as baseball. The batters just go out and play at their very best. They just go out on every ball, not play the slow game that Test cricket is most commonly known for. Their approach is extremely aggressive. They just go out and look to hit every ball. Even KL Rahul mentioned in the pre-match press conference that India will also look to play the aggressive model because given that the World Test Championship final is just 6 months away from now, so their main concern will be to how to. So India is on the 4th position right now, and to gain any advantage at this stage, they need not just to win the not just to win the group stage, but also play in a way that so that no permutations and combinations come in at the end of the stage. So that is what KL Rahul also focused on, to play the aggressive go the aggressive way, and that is what the batters have been ideally told, that they have to just go out and play their shots and not play their normal game or something that we have seen the way Test cricket is played. The bowling, at least for this series, it's not obviously up to the mark. We don't have a Jasprit Bumrah, we don't have a Mohammad Shami. We also are missing out on the premier all-rounder like Ravindra Jadeja. So right now, the leader of this pace attack looks like someone like an Umesh Yadav or a Mohammad Siraj. We have seen how brilliant Mohammad Siraj was in Australia in that famous Test series win, but he is untested in conditions like that of a Bangladesh, and Umesh Yadav is also coming back after a long period. So how these guys will perform is something to look at. Also, we have Shardul Thakur in the pace department. He did show some really good acumen of how he plays a Test cricket in that famous Gabba win. But then how he plays here, if his all-rounder skills come into play, because we have seen him bowl pretty well, pretty economic spells in the ODI series, but his batting wasn't up to the mark. So if he plays as an all-rounder, if he plays as a specialist pacer, that is something to be seen. Also, how much effective Ravi Ashwin or an Akshar Patel will be is a bit of a doubt, because at least on the first 3 days which is being discussed, the pitch isn't expected to offer much turn. It will be more on the pacers. So if India will be able to pick 20 wickets or not is a question, because at least till the 3rd day it will be the pacers who will have to be in action, who will have to continue that momentum to put the opposition in trouble. We have also seen the Bangladesh batters play spin so well, and Indian, yes, they can play good spin, but if we speak of some of our quality batters, we have seen Virat Kohli being made to face spin so often. We saw how he got out to Shakib Al Hasan twice in the ODI series. So Bangladesh will definitely look to pit him against one of their spinners, given that Virat Kohli is looking to gain back his form, and Bangladesh have some quality spinners. We have seen Mehdi Hasan bowl really well. He was too good in that ODI series. He was bowling well, batting well, and he is also a quality spinner besides Shakib Al Hasan. There is also Nasu Mohammed, but given the playing 11, at least we know there will be Mehdi and Shakib in play. So Indians, how they play the spinners will be definitely a big factor. Bangladesh at home, definitely any team in their home conditions are the favourites. But given then, we have seen India, trouncing Bangladesh over and over again, at least in the longer format. Even now is the time when we have seen Bangladesh posing at least some problems to the Indian team, maybe in the limited overs more. So India, looking at that side, maybe India have a more skilled attack, be it batting, especially batting. We have some top batters. Even in the absence of Rohit Sharma, we do have some top batters playing for us. The bowling attack is not maybe as much experienced, but then we also have seen Bangladesh beating New Zealand in New Zealand. So they are carrying that confidence that they gained earlier this year in January, February, that time. And that was a huge boost for Bangladesh's Test cricket, at least, to beat big World Test Championship winners. They were the winners last year, New Zealand, and Bangladesh beat them at their home. So Bangladesh know that they have the capability. It's not just if they can beat a side like New Zealand, then they can also beat a side like India, even in their full strength. So I think this battle should be if not a 50-51, at least 60-40, where Bangladesh will be able to pose at least some trouble, and it won't be a hands-down India game. Uncertainty is a big factor at least for this Indian team, which is repeatedly being hampered by a crucial player, a main player being injured in just ahead of a big tournament, a big series. We saw Rohit Sharma get out of being ruled out of the first test here. So had Rohit Sharma played, he would have led the team. We would have KL Rahul as a vice captain, and in that case, Shubman Gill would have to sit out. We have seen Shubman Gill is in very fine touch. We saw him playing last year at the Gabba, then we saw him play the ODI series against Zimbabwe, and he was in brilliant touch. And now all of a sudden he's again coming back into the test fray after a long time. So how he plays is definitely something to see. Given that he was also not certain, maybe that even 3-4 days back till Rohit was ruled out, if he would have a place in this side. Then coming to someone like a Cheteshwar Pujara, after a small dip in form, he was kept out. Maybe he's still a bit of in touch because he played for the county, and he scored a truckloads of runs, and he's coming back on the basis of that. The selectors have again called him back. And most importantly, the bowling attack. Umesh Yadav, he hasn't played test for India in a long time. Him again coming back to this attack, and he hasn't played as many tests with an attack that features the likes of a Mohammad Siraj or a Shardul Thakur. He has been in a team that had someone of a Bumrah or a Mohammad Shami, who were the leading pacers. Here, he has to be one of the lead pacers, given that he is the most experienced of this lot. So how these not just the bowlers, the batters perform in these conditions, given that they are not even sure if they will go out and play the second test. So uncertainty is definitely a big factor for the Indian players. I think it's important to take day by day, because going by a test match can change at any point of time. We just saw how England and Pakistan fared. Till one point of time, it looked like it was an easy chase for Pakistan, and the lower middle order just collapsed, and England had both of their games in the same manner. So I think it should be more of a day-to-day. Win the toss, definitely go out and bat first and look to put up a good total. But then you also need to keep in mind, the aggressive approach doesn't always work. You need to be very careful about your aggressive approach as well. You just can't go out and lose wickets in a cluster. It's a 5-day game. It's not a T20I game that someone will just come up and back your innings. If you are losing a cluster of wickets in a small amount of time in a 5-day game, it's going to impact you in the long run.